Hey guys, welcome to Digital in One. Today we're going to be looking at how to choose a business name that is right for your company. Now, let did not see the light of the day because of the kind of business name they actually choose. Now, the business name reflects the kind of services you offer. The business name you choose will reflect the kind of product you sell. So choosing the right business name is a good start for your business. Alright, now let's dive in and see how this issue can actually be resolved. Okay, let's look at this. It said every business has the same question when starting. You started a business, you've asked yourself at one point before you started a business, what name should I give to my brand? The name you give your company does a lot of heavy lifting, and that's the gospel truth. It epitomizes your brand stories, it tells customers about your product, and has to be memorable for potential customers. Now, there are a lot of things that you need to consider when choosing a name for your brand. You don't just choose a name because something came into your head and you love the fantasies in your head and you decide to give your brand that name. You might end up losing that business because of the kind of name you gave to that business. All right, let's look at this. Why the right brand name is important. Things to think about for how to come up with a brand name. The steps to take for naming your business. How to choose a company name that lives, what to do after decide on a name. After you decide on a name, what is that you need to do? Now let's look at one after the other. Why does your brand name matter? It's a very big question. Why does your brand name matter? Let's check it out. A company name is your introduction to customers. It's what customers will refer to every time they have any interaction with your company. The customers don't call your company by your personal name. Your customer don't call your company by your first name, your last name, or your middle name. Your customer call your brand by the brand name. So you should give your brand a very good name. Company names leave lasting impressions. The kind of name you give to your company will leave lasting impressions in the head of your customers. Catchy brand names can make the difference between a business hooking its audience or disappearing in a crowd. Reading a list of ridiculous company names might seem fun, but the disastrous consequences of a bad company name can kill your brand. So a bad company name given to your company, if you give your company a bad name, it in no time kills your business. Considerations when deciding how to come up with a brand name. Before jumping into the naming process, you need to understand the complexities of choosing a name and all it entails. Now let's look at how to create a great brand name. There are 7 types of brand names. First is the eponymous. Second is the descriptive. Third is the acronymic. Fourth is the suggestive. Fifth is the associative. Sixth is the non-English. And 7 is the abstract. We're going to be looking at them. Now, when you are figuring how to come up with a company name, think of its value proposition. What value is the name you're actually associating with your company going to bring to your company? In other words, how your company brings value and is better than your competitions. Your company name can increase your value proposition and set the standard of what customers can expect. So, the kind of name you will give your company would determine the success of a company. Your company name can increase your value proposition and set the standard of what customers can expect. It's more than just how to come up with a brand name, but also how that brand name can hold up to various factors, which includes how clear is the name, how does it sound like a business, is it a memorable or catchy name, is it simple and easy to spell, will the name be long lasting, is it trendy but not too trendy that it's feel outdated in 5 years? Does this name help search engine optimization at all? Is it authentic to your business? Does the name fit your audience demographics? Will your name work in other languages? Now, those are the things you need to put into consideration when picking a name for your business. Now, naming your business. First of all, you have to define your brand. The kind of brand you want to venture into should determine the kind of name you're giving to that brand. Determine your name's criteria. Brainstorm. Use tools. Ask for feedbacks. Now, when you follow these steps for how to come up with a brand name, and you will get closer to finding a perfect one. Choose your company's branding. Let's look at it together. If you haven't done extensive branding work for your company, now is the time to do that. Figure out your brand identity, the personality, tone, and positioning for your business. Your brand identity is the best place to start when naming your business. Find your name criteria. Define what you want from your brand name. You have to define what you want from your brand name. What feeling do you want to elicit? The word Patagonia has a different feel than Google, for example. Going off your branding, determine a specific feeling you want your company name to capture. Write it down so you have a particular goal in mind and something to compare your ideas against later. Also pin down any other criteria that are important to you, such as uniqueness or simplicity. Make these benchmarks general and not too concrete. Don't limit your creativity, no. But knowing what you are aiming for will help you in the process and give you a way to see if the names you come up with actually meet your goals. Start brainstorming. It is very important that you brainstorm when choosing a name for your business. Now it's time to get creative. Brainstorming can be done in many different ways, depending on what works best for your business. Look at a company you admire or those in your category. Writing up this relevant name can help get creative juices flowing. See what your competitors in your niche are named. Not only will that help you head in another direction, but it can act as an inspiration to be more creative than your competitors. Try thinking in images instead of words. You can play around with logo designs. See if color inspires you. Experiment with various fonts. With these different brainstorming tips and techniques, you can actually come up with a great name that is going to represent your business out there. Visualizing your business name helps it become more realistic and lets you picture what it might look like in various scenarios. Plan to do the brainstorming process a few times to get a lot of ideas. Don't just brainstorm once and then feel you've gotten all the ideas that you need. Plan to do the brainstorm a few times to get a lot of ideas again. Don't be too critical during this stage. A bad idea can lead you down the path to your perfect brand name. Internet is ripe, so take advantage of tools. Tools can help you when naming your business, like thesaurus, rhyming dictionaries. These tools can be a great source of inspiration, I must tell you, but use them with caution since other companies have access to these resources also. You don't want to overlap with anyone on how a name that sounds like it came from a generator. Ask for help. Learn to ask people for help. Once you cast a wide net of name ideas, you can start to narrow your options down with help from an audience. That can be your friends, families, employees, or even your customers. Consider doing some audience testing, to see how your potential names come across. You might be missing some meanings or connotations if you don't want to be associated with your brand. That's the truth. How to find out if a business name is already taken? You need to find out if a particular business name is already taken. First, you need to start with a basic Google search. Search if that name is actually existing on Google. Use a hosting website. It is very necessary. Use a hosting website. Just check if that name has been taken by another company. To check the domain availability. Check if that domain name has been taken by another company. Also check if it's even available for people to use. You also check social media sites. You can also use services such as Name Checker or NameCheck. Search for US Patent Trademark Office with its trademark electronic search systems. You can check, depends on your country. If you plan to extend internationally, keep in mind international trademarks. Keep in mind international trademarks like the World Intellectual Property Organization. Choosing the right name. Once you have narrowed down a few good options, deciding how to choose a brand name that perfectly fits your company comes down to you. It's by default. Does it include the criteria you initially laid out? Does the name feel like the right fit? These are questions only a business owner can answer. Why naming your business is a big decision. Do not hang your business's success on your name as well. If you offer quality goods or services, then customers will follow no matter your name. Choose what feels right, or at least like a fit that you can be happy with. Know when to move on from the naming process and then focus on making your company the best it can become. Next steps after naming your business. Once you have conquered how to come up with a brand name, now it's time to put it into action. Decide if you want to trademark your name and begin the filling process. Start building your online presence with your website and social media. Your business domain name can be as simple as your company name, or you can consider purchasing multiple domain names related to your business, like book.com, redirect to Barnes and Noble's website, and so on and so forth. Your company's name will be around as long as your business. So choosing the right name at the beginning is critical.